Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another excellent episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye Spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, he asks for a chief burrito because he loves the combination of chicken and beef. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And in the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. 3 continents down, 3 more to go. No cap, straight facts. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us. You see, we have a special guest tonight who is actually, and she's actually a former WWE employee. She's also the host of Tape Study Tuesdays. And on top of that, she is now a TCW goddess, TCW goddesses, plural form, commentator. Everybody, welcome to the show, Marie Shadows. How you doing tonight?
Woo! I'm great. I really love all the intros and everything, man. That was fantastic. Fucking love it.
I try. You know, it's a little bit of Howard Finkel, a little bit of Road Dogg, some Justin Roberts. I yell a bit and then hope I sound good. So, but thanks. Yeah, so I gotta say, thank you for doing this for us. We really and truly appreciate it. We've crossed paths a couple of times in on Twitter, more specifically, and I've seen you around. I've actually seen you in the Gabe Sapolsky spaces, which are phenomenal. It's like, geez, this man is even though he doesn't like it when you say so. when you give him praise, that man is a brilliant mind. And for those of you that haven't checked out Gabe Sapolsky's spaces, I would highly recommend you do so because they're very informative, and it's a great space for networking. You meet so many people there, and it's not even it's not just for like pro wrestlers. It's for people that are referees, like Rob Bass over here. You have people that are managers, commentators, promoters, entrance theme engineers, people that actually make the music for the wrestlers to come out to, gear makers. It's for everybody, and I would definitely recommend, if you have the time, definitely check it out. You will not be disappointed at all. But other than that, Marie, thank you very much. It's great to finally hear from you. So tell us, what's been going on with you lately?
Well, lately it's just been getting ready for Goddesses of War Wrestling. If you guys don't know, Goddesses of War Wrestling is an all-women's wrestling promotion based out of New Jersey, and I had the opportunity to work with their brother company, Titan Championship Wrestling, some years ago. And then they did the rebranding for Goddesses of War, and I got in on that by being their official podcaster for 1 month, and then I got switched over to commentary. With commentary, that was one of the goals that I wanted to do in like the wrestling business, other than like working for WWE, and I know we'll get there. But when it comes to commentary, I have practice commentary videos up on my own YouTube channel, and then I kind of use that to be like, hey, this is my like little mini portfolio. If you guys want me to be there, I would love to take the opportunity. And then it was just like a match made in heaven. And then doing commentary, it's sort of like all the stuff I've been daydreaming about and picturing about and like wanting to do it live. It's like 2 completely different things. What I usually do is that I go up to like all the wrestlers and like talk to them for a little bit, make sure I get like, their name right, maybe their catchphrases, get their finishers right. So that way, if I see it during the match, I can like call it appropriately. And it was like a great entire show, May 20th, that I did my first commentary gig. And then like during, intermission, I actually had the chance to meet like Flip Gordon like came by to support the ladies, and like he has someone else with him too, so like I was talking to him for a little bit. I was just reuniting with some of the other wrestlers because there was a double header, so it was Goddesses and like Titan, so I reunited with like all the families and stuff. But then after that, doing the wrestler commentary was like great. Like I really enjoyed it.
Wow, that's awesome. I hope I get to check out a Goddesses of War show because the last one I heard was pretty great. I liked the lineup I saw, and y'all actually, from what I heard, it was well put together. So,
Oh yeah.
and that's the one thing I love to see is a show that's well put. I've never really been to a show that hasn't really been put together. Although I've been to my first show where Rain actually postponed the show for a bit, but that's Rain. I mean, you can't really help nature, but yeah, hopefully I get to check it out and see what it is and what's up. And I gotta say, TCW, they made a great choice in you because given your background, not just the commentary, but the fact that you've been practicing and then also you work for WWE. I could tell they definitely have a big plus on their side with being on their team. So congratulations to that. And
Thank you.
we're gonna touch on that a bit more. But the first question I always ask, 99% of our guests on Ringside Society is, how did it start? What was the match or the pay-per-view or the event or the video game? Because we've had people whose fandom started just by playing the video game before watching wrestling. But how did it start for Marie Shadows becoming a pro wrestling fan?
So it all started because of my dad. My dad was the one that got me into wrestling. He started me off with like old school stuff, like IWA Mid-South, like really old school stuff. I grew up watching like, Ric Flair tapes and like the Von Erich tapes. So I'm like really, really old school. And then it just like grew from there to the point where like, when I was a teenager that my dad would take me to like Ring of Honor events. So spending time with him at Ring of Honor events when they came here to Manhattan for like the Manhattan Center and the ballroom. And then just gradually branching out and just like creating, new friends to go to other places and stuff like that. I always knew I wanted to work for like WWE. Like that was my dream, like at 7. Aside from like wanting to be a writer as well. So like I wanted to try to combine both of them because I knew like anything else that I did wasn't really as like, I don't want to say interesting, but it just wasn't like catching my attention. So in school, like I would be very good at like English classes and like writing and stuff. So I wanted to like combine the two. But yeah, just growing up because of the influence from like my dad and just learning the business and being so absorbed into it, because I never like broke away from it. Like wrestling is my life. It's like everything that I love to do. Like I can definitely like sit here and talk about wrestling no matter what. But yeah, it was basically my dad that started it. I continued it, and I told everybody that will listen to me that I will go work for WWE and I'll be in the wrestling business.
You're on mute, man.
I gotta stop doing that. But the amazing thing is that you actually made it come true. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to work for WWE," but you've actually gotten to that point. And I gotta say, your father taught you well, because the fact that you were watching like the old school Ric Flair and Von Erich tapes and whatnot, your dad is a pretty cool dad. So what was his reaction when he heard that you wanted to get involved in the business?
He actually, wanted to train me, whatever he saw on TV. I remember that memory of like him wanting to train me, but I realized later after WWE when I did actually try to go into training that like it really wasn't for me. But he tried at an early age. But then like, he was all accepting for it. He was like, go for it. I know you can do it, put your mind to it. And he was like the only person out of like my family to be like, hey, go do what you want to do.
So wait, you train, so you're saying your dad was a wrestler?
He wasn't a wrestler. It's just that you know how parents are like, if they watch something, well, how can I say this? He watched wrestling for so long that like, he was probably going to train me to like do simple stuff. So he wasn't a wrestler per se, but like, how we all grow up and we want to do like wrestling moves to our siblings and stuff like that. Think of it like that.
Okay. That's a pretty cool dad either way, man. I mean, the fact that he actually encourage you to do your thing. I know some parents, there's some, crazy enough, there's actually some parents in wrestling business, like wrestlers in the wrestling business, so to speak, that, I've talked to one of them, and I'm not going to call any names, but I asked them, would you want your kids they had a daughter. Would you want your daughter to be in the business? They're like, no, she's gonna go to college, get a degree. And I'm like, okay, so she's a girl. What if you had a son? Would you? No, he's gonna go to school, get a degree. He's not gonna be in the business. I'm like, wow, but teach their own. But and there's some that are like, yeah, they want to go get in the business. Come on, let's go. We got a ring in the backyard. Let's go take some bumps and whatnot. So that's pretty cool of your dad to actually, even though he, he wasn't in the business, but he actually wanted to he actually encouraged your dreams and so on, and that's pretty awesome. Awesome of him as well too. And man, the Ring of Honor. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that he was just a huge fan. He wasn't really in the business. I'm the only one out of my family that is like in the business. Well, there's someone else too, but he retired as a wrestler. But it's about me.
What? That's cool, man. That's pretty awesome. Hey, if you ever want him on the show, if you're cool with it, we would definitely like to have him on the show. Because we talk to retired wrestlers as well too. We always like to give the viewers and listeners stories from different sides and so on. And you never know who might be watching. That might get inspired. So if you're cool with it, we definitely would like to have him on the show. But yeah, man. So now you're a wrestling fan. You're going to all the indie shows and Ring of Honor, man. It must have been a vibe back in the day, because I remember it. I caught it like I started going to Ring of Honor shows. Well, I've only been to 2 of them, but I went to my first one back in 2012, and then I went to my second one back in 2013, and that was before I think they got bought out. But before they got bought out to AEW, like back when they were like just on like, it was different back then. Back when you had like the American Wolves and Red Dragon and so on. That's when I was watching. It was definitely a vibe. But you're going to these shows, you're cheering your favorites, you're supporting the business. Now, how did your journey go from Marie Shadow's wrestling fan to now Marie Shadow's WWE employee? Like, what was? I know you were freaking out. You were like, oh! You were like Paul. You were probably like Paul Heyman when Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker, or like the guy that, or is this LSM? The guy that was like this when Brock Lesnar won. He's like, you were probably like
that. So I had the journey as a fan. Did I have a plan on how I was going to do it? No, but what I did was that I applied to WWE like 29 times. It stopped at like number 29. I was like keeping count of how many times I applied to them. But I got lucky one day because I had like an ordinary job. I used to work for this place. One of my coworkers was friends with the HR department, and she knew that I love like wrestling. I always talk about it like 24/7. So she basically introduced the both of us, and I talked to her, and she was like, yeah, we have an opening for the WWE Network, rather than me being a writer, because I went to try to be, a writer or assistant writer. That's what I was really going for. But at least I got my foot in the door for the WWE Network. So when I did the whole thing, I did the whole interview. I actually traveled from where I live in New York City all the way to Connecticut, and then walked my ass in the heat to the production place because I didn't have any money to like take a cab or whatever, and there was like no buses. So I walked over there. I was there in my interview and like dripping sweat. Like the security guard was like, "Damn, you must be dedicated." So I waited, had my interview in this like cubicle of a place where like everybody was working on like something, and then like there was a cutout board like John Cena, which was hilarious, behind the door. I was like, oh my god, a cutout board of Cena. So I sat down, had the interview. They explained what the position was. It was me making sure that the SEO, the search engine optimization, was strong enough for you guys who when we had the WWE Network. So when you're searching for something specific comes up. So I did the interview, came back home. Luckily this time I got to drive with one of my ex-friends who, was over there, and we both got the job. But I got to drive from him back home because we lived in the same area. And then I just waited like a couple weeks, and then got the phone call, and like, had one of those crying moments, and then called my dad up, and I was like, hey, I made it to WWE. And that that's basically history right there. That's how it all started for me to like work in WWE.
Wow, I gotta say, congratulations to you on that. That is definitely inspirational. The fact that you applied 29 times. Y'all hear that? 29 times.
Yeah.
I've heard people quitting after like 3 or 4, but 29 times. That is dedication. Went through the blazing sun to her interview. I'm glad, I'm glad that your dedication paid off. I like to see people work hard and then get rewarded for that work, for that hard work. So, kudos to you on that. It must have been a vibe for you. I bet you still couldn't believe you actually accomplished that feat right there, because you're in a position where a lot of people wanted to go. That a lot of people would definitely give them an arm and a leg for, and your dedication definitely paid off.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. I guess the first couple of weeks was kind of fun. I had that cheesy smile. I met my coworkers. I kind of realized that I was smarter than mostly all of them, except for like 2 people that I will put on a pedestal, be like, yeah, you guys are right here in my knowledge for like WWE stuff. I made friends with like the producers, and like not I don't want to say they're producers, but they're the ones that are like in the semi truck that was organizing the shows, the WWE shows, like what comes on like at 2:00 or like 3:00. Like sometimes after lunch, I'll spend some time with them just to be like, hey, what's up, guys? How's it going and stuff. I do remember like some fond memories of we had like a half a day on a Friday where we go out to like Terrence, and there were like food trucks and like activities and whatnot, and we were told that like Vince was paying for like the food and everything, so you can eat as much as you want and like take home as much as you want to if you wanted to. You get like free drinks, free food on that like Friday. Everybody was really nice. I was there networking with everybody, and then like we also had like work to do and stuff, but it was really nice. I don't regret anything. I loved what I did. It was only a temporary thing, but I fucking love what I did.
That's cool. The fact that you mentioned the food trucks, I know Kathy would have been all over that, because I always tell Kathy, I'm like, I tell her, yeah, we have ref. We don't just interview pro wrestlers. I mean, yes, they're the focal point, but there are other people in what I call the wheel of professional wrestling that make it go round. And I told her, like, we interview referees, managers, promoters, and actually your former company, your former employee WB is actually they're actually I guess for the right word, it would be measuring stick that we use, because I figured, hey, if we would interview Earl Hebner, or who's a referee there right now, I don't know what his, he got a new name, but Daryl Sharma, aka the Zombie Referee, or Aja Smith, or any one of those other referees. Why not a Rob Bass, who is my co-host here? Why not interview him? He's doing the same thing, but just that he doesn't have a big production team behind him. Why not a Scarlett Donovan over in the West Coast? Why not some other referee that's from another promotion? Why not interview them? They're working hard just as much as the referees in WWE, just that they don't have a production team. So that's why we do what we do. So, but yeah, man, so I'm not gonna ask you to anything backstage, because it's not my place. But what was it like meeting the wrestlers that you grew up watching? And also, what was it like? I mean, did you get to go to a WrestleMania as a WWE employee, or you didn't get that opportunity?
Well, I only was able to work there for 3 months until they were like, all right, that's it. Because it was only temporary. And we were sort of like the Fight Club of WWE, where people know about us, but people really didn't know about us. There was one time where like, we were going to have like some wrestlers visit us, but that was like a no. So, we didn't really get to experience any type of wrestlers coming by, even though like, you kind of felt that maybe Triple H would like pop his head in, but like that never happened. But yeah, we were the ones that had to be like the workhorses that like kept our heads down and work on the WWE network in these cubicles, and we really didn't get to see wrestlers come like in and out of like that area, because again, it felt like Fight Club. It's like you know about it, but then you don't know about them, you know?
You know about it, but you don't speak about it.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it was.
You know, I'm going to say something very blasphemous and probably un-American of me. I've never seen that movie. I know of it.
Oh, okay.
You know the ending, but I've never seen it through. And I know Brad Pitt is in it. I believe Edward Norton is the other guy, but I've never actually sat down and watched it. But I know that there's that one line where they say, where the character Brad Pitt is playing, that says, one rule about Fight Club: you do not talk about Fight Club. So
that's exactly how it felt. That's exactly how it felt.
Yeah, I know this is crazy, but a fun fact about that: some of that movie was filmed here in Delaware. You know what I mean? So, gotta give kudos to that. Yeah, I forget which part. I think it was at the end or something where buildings were blowing up, but I think it was filmed in Wilmington or something. But yeah, a little bit of it. So I always gotta give props. You know, Delaware, man, we're so small. So
all good.
Yeah. Maybe I'll probably sit down one day and check. I mean, I just saw the Goonies like 6 years ago, so yeah, I'm getting there slowly but surely. Y'all, for those y'all hearing that, don't crucify me yet. I'm making my way there. But yeah. So now you're no longer with WWE. You know, they said okay. You know, it was a temporary thing, but you still could put that on your resume. It's still a big plus for you, in my opinion. But now you're actually with TCW, and you found life after WWE because some people once they're done with WWE, some people they tend to have a difficult time finding their footing in the industry, but you've actually like bounced back up and just kept going. So now you're with TCW, and you're doing the commentating thing and whatnot, and you also have a show called Tape Study Tuesdays. So tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so Tape Study Tuesday is in relation. Like, what's my brain trying to say? It's basically part of the Square Circle podcast. The Square Circle podcast was created after WWE in 2019 of October. After that stupid Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that we had in 2019. So the Square Circle podcast was created because of that. I did all these review shows for it, and then Tape Study Tuesday comes about because I finally found like a purpose to do, and that's to give back to the wrestlers of the wrestling industry, basically like the up and coming indie stars, and basically look at their matches and give them feedback on it. And I will do it live on, a streaming platform, whether it be like Twitch or anything else, where they would give me their match and I will like review it in real time and give them little suggestions or improvements if I saw anything that was like really wrong, because it's a little bit better and fresher from someone looking from the outside in rather than someone who's like already in the business. No shame to like all the veterans out there. Like, I still listen to their advice, and people should still listen to their advice. But sometimes when you're so focused and inside always, you might miss something and like give the wrong feedback at that moment in time when they give you a match to watch. So someone like me who's like on the outside doing other things, I could give a fresh perspective. And like, so Tape Study Tuesday is about celebrating and giving back feedback on how to improve for like indie wrestlers or like promotions or like segments and stuff. Most of the stuff that I come up with is off top of my head and like from what I see, and I could automatically give like a quick little rundown of like, all right, maybe you should try this. I'm not saying that they should do it, like they should incorporate it. If it works for them, it works for them. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's totally fine. But Tape Study is all about that, where I shine a spotlight on wrestlers or indie wrestlers or matches or anything where I can like help improve and people can like listen to my feedback for it.
That's awesome that you do that for indie wrestlers and so on. It gives them like a bit of a morale booster that somebody's actually watching them, and also they're shedding spotlight on them too. And I always say, I want everybody to thrive. I mean, no slight on the business, but everybody can't make it WWE, but it's always great to shine spotlight on them, give them that encouragement to like, hey, we're watching. You're not going unnoticed. Keep on going. We like what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's great that you do that as well too. And I've seen you doing big things too, man. You interviewed Clark Connors, the newest member of Bullet Club.
Yep.
I bet you were like, wow, like you went from WWE to now you're doing like you're talking to somebody that's actually in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and yeah, man, that's pretty cool that you got to do that as well. So hopefully, I'm looking forward to many more. Hopefully, you get to see and interview some more people, maybe a Chris Bay or Ace Austin or somebody else from New Japan or AEW or whatnot. But you're doing great work, and I'm definitely anticipating what you're gonna do next. Like, I'm definitely happy that you this is not fake either. Like, I'm definitely happy for your success and everything. And I know you're gonna go far. Definitely, with the dedication you have, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be great.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no problem. So, my last two questions, because I know Rob is itching to ask you a couple questions as well, too. So, my second to last question is, you're in the New York area, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're exclusive to TCW, but what are some other promotions that you would be interested in working with?
I mean, I tried to once work with House of Glory, but that didn't work out very well. There's also the Fallout Shelter that we have here that I've been meaning to try and get a connection with. But whoever wants to work with me, my DMs are open. So I don't really be like, let me pick and choose. Like, whoever wants to work with me, my DMs are open.
Oh, that's cool. That's all. Yeah, Fallout Shelter, they're pretty good. I was just at their Battle Club Pro show. It was this past Saturday. It was a really great show. Got to see several great stars. They're definitely doing a lot of great things, and to me, like, they've given the New York City wrestling scene has always been great, but to me, they've given Brooklyn, a breath of new life. They breathe new life into Brooklyn because, man, they put us on to so many interesting people. And Indy Hartwell even before she got signed, wrestled for Battle Club Pro, and then we just had this guy Brian Keith all the way from Texas, who wrestles for Reality Wrestling, was just up here too. So they're a great promotion, and I hope that you get a chance to work with them as well too. Because like I said, you're a big plus anywhere. You're definitely a big plus anywhere you go. Given your background as well. And speaking of your background, if somebody wanted to come up and wanted to get up to do what you do, like work with WWE and so on, and they're trying, what advice would you give that person that wants to work with WWE, regardless of whether they're a wrestler or in a backstage role? What advice would you give that person in regards to applying to them?
So I would say the first biggest thing is to believe in yourself. The moment that you believe in yourself, you're your biggest cheerleader, even if no one around you is going to cheer you on. So as long as you believe in yourself, you're capable of doing it. But I will say that, like, when I applied, it was still the Vince McMahon era. So it was a little bit more difficult. Now that Triple H is in charge and there might be like a new type of HR vibe, you might have like a bigger chance of getting in just because of how the vibes are completely different. But don't forget to be ambitious. Don't forget to be, have perseverance, and like believe in yourself is the biggest thing that you can do to get to WWE, to get to New Japan, to get to MOW, to get to any one of those places. Like, it's possible. Don't, doubting and frustration comes with it, but believe in yourself is the most important thing.
So there you have it, people. You heard it from somebody that used to work for WWE. You got a bit of advice there from them. Take that. We hope that helps you out. any other advice, you probably got to hit up her Cash App or PayPal or something, because time is money. But you just got a little something from a former WWE employee, and also a podcast host / wrestling commentator. So she's in the business.
Everything.
So you got a little something. She wears, man. If I see you wrestling, we gonna have you come back on the show. Be like, all right, Miss Shazza, I saw you suplex that girl off that top rope. What's going on? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that.
I'll tell you this, that one day I want to learn how to take proper bumps, because when I was learning to take bumping, like, it was not I didn't have the best teachers, but that's why I don't like to bump, but I do like to run the ropes. So like, I'm not gonna rule out like anything, but it'd be nice, but nothing guaranteed.
And if you can't be a wrestler, I mean, you could also be a manager. I mean, we've seen a lot of great managers. Managers help a lot too. You could also be a referee. Yeah. So, I mean,
I was thinking that too.
You already got the name Marie Shadows. You already have the name Marie Shadows. Why not? I mean, and where are you at? You're in New York City. You have so many places. You have the Fallout Shelter. You have, I think Johnny Rod still runs his wrestling school.
He still does.
So many places. So we definitely look forward to see a lot more great things from you. And with that being said, I'm gonna turn it over to Rob. Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet, thanks. So what's going on, Marie? How's everything doing today?
Good, man. Good.
How was your day today so far? I know it's only about 12:37, but how was your day today so far? Anything exciting happening? Craziness, or just normal Monday?
Well, I mean, if you guys don't know that, like, United Empire and Bullet Club are feuding at the moment, so like, I just managed to ask Ospreay a question and got like a response from him, which I wasn't really expecting so early in the morning. So like, for everyone out there, so United Empire is going to be doing this like apprenticeship thing where they got Callum Newman to be an apprentice and or like young boy to United Empire, and I was just like, well, did you guys do a background check? Because I don't want you guys to get another betrayal like you did with like Dan. I just want to look out for the United Empire. So I managed to get a response from Ospreay on that, and it's all like on Twitter and stuff, which was amazing. I wasn't expecting it. I was just like, hey, I'm on the side of caution because no one expected Dan to betray, Bullet Club the way that he did during Dominion. But it was very, very, very fun. So I had a very good like morning start.
Well, that's good. That sounds like a definitely an adventurous morning. It's better than mine. Like, I got up, took the dogs out, and ate a peanut butter jelly sandwich for lunch. So that's way better than what I did. So. So I got to ask, you were talking about, commentary stuff up there, and I was going to ask you about like tips for commentary, but you kind of gave, answered, what you do to prepare for commentary. Go up to the guys and gals in the back, hey, you need me to get this over, what's the name of this move? What do you want me to do? You want me to, do this? You want me to say da. But so, that's pretty cool. So, do you have any other tips that for somebody trying to comment, take? Because well, I work for 1CW and they have me doing everything, so I know eventually they're gonna be like, all right, we're gonna need you to sit on the commentary desk at one point or whatever, and. I like letting F words fly sometimes, cuss word, because, sometimes somebody doesn't do it. I'm like, oh my, like what, so, like, is there any tips, like, stuff like that, you can share, whatever.
I will say this though, that I do have like a really huge potty mouth. I really, really do. I was surprised that I did not curse at all during the commentary gig. I was so surprised. But one of the biggest lessons that I learned, because I come from New York City and I tend to like talk really fast and people will be like, why are you talking so fast? I learned the art of slowing down my talk in that one session because I had a very awesome tag partner with me, Riley Shepard, who's also a wrestler. She was doing commentating with me. And like, I was following her lead. Even though my brain was like, all right, I know. Let me get this out. My body was like, let me just slow it down. Sometimes slowing it down when you're on commentary helps so that way people can like hear you and like, what you're saying and stuff. So that's one of the biggest things is like, it's okay to, talk slowly and nicely and like get everything out. Other than that, I consulted like two of my commentary friends who are in the business. Alphonse, who was a referee at one point, but then he turned commentator. And then also Mark, I'm gonna have to like give you guys like their ats or whatever, because I know I'm gonna get Mark's last name wrong. But like those two guys are like the two that I basically text to be like, hey, I'm doing commentary. I need some tips. Like, what can you give me and stuff? So yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, I'm all for the commentary stuff, because people just think, you just go in there and comment on the match. Like, no, you gotta do like homework, you gotta,
You do.
do some studying and stuff, man. It's not for the faint of heart, what I mean. You can look at like, anybody, just the fan can look at anything in wrestling, like, oh, all you gotta do is do this, ref. All you gotta do is count to three, and no.
It's more.
Yeah. So, you're talking about, your wrestling training, learn how to do the ropes and stuff. And I do want to say, hey, even if you don't become a ref, we always need refs. We always need, managers and all that stuff, man. We're always hurting for refs, I mean, we got a couple new, younger guys now, we're giving ring time, and also it gives me, and Eric, a little break. Eric, he does his wrestling thing. I don't wrestle, I mean, I'm too old for that. So, I'm doing hard cam and all that stuff. But yeah, we're always ready, doing wrestling, refs and all that. But I did have to learn how to wrestle and stuff a little bit, so you have to learn how to do that. It's not for the faint of heart either. Like, whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually seen people. I'm not a big dude, and I've seen people like bigger than me go in there, and they're like, 1-2 training sessions. They're like, I'm good. I'm like, all right, wow, okay, man. So I do got to ask, also, you're also not only, all these hats you're wearing, podcaster, commentator, all that good stuff. You've also managed to find time to publish a book. Now, where did you get the idea to do that, and how did that come about, and how did you get a book published?
Okay, so like I always wanted to publish a book. That was the second thing that like my dad was always like in favor for, and that's why I got a degree in creative writing and got my publishing certificate as well. So basically, what it was that like it's not a fiction book. It is a wrestling planner that you can see here that's made for like all the fans and whatnot. So I remember like Twitter kept complaining about like when it comes to the year end awards or rewards, whatever you want to like call them. Every person on Twitter is like, hey, I don't remember that match. Do you remember this match? Do you remember that? Do you remember that? So like I decided to be like, oh well, there's a problem there. So let me fix it by making a wrestling planner where it comes with like a 12-month calendar, so you can write in like any special dates that wrestling has. If you're going to an event, if you have like a booked event, you can put it in there as a reminder. There's 2 note sections. There's a 7-star rating section in here too, because if you don't like what Uncle Dave is doing, you could do it yourself. I've had my fans actually like take a picture and like send it to me, but this is what I do. And then the last part is just like the year-end awards. You could do whatever you want with it. It came about because Twitter was complaining about they couldn't remember stuff. So I made something for them tangible to have. I made it, all on Canva. And then I uploaded it onto Amazon. So I'm a self-published author over there. And it's done, pretty well. I have been asked the question of like, are we going to get like a new one next year? Yeah, you guys are going to get a new one next year. I just don't know what I should swap out, what I should put in. But yeah, you guys are going to get another one next year.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. So if you need a book like that, if you're somebody like me who has a bad memory and forgets what they did 2 days ago, I mean, where you can just go right to Amazon and grab a book.
Yeah, pretty much. You could type in the name of it, or like, I say go to amazon.com/author/Marie Shadows, but I'll plug in all that later. But yeah, you could just go there.
Oh, hey, sounds good. I mean, hey, it sounds good to me. I mean, because I always need to, remember stuff. I always got to write stuff down. You should see my notebooks. What I mean? It's like, oh my
yeah.
Lord, what I mean?
I'm the same way. That's why, like, I have notebooks upon notebooks of like the matches that I watch in order to give like really good assessments of like the shows and the characters and the stories. And I like writing everything down.
Now, instead of a book like that, have you ever considered doing another kind of wrestling book, like maybe fiction or something, something like that,
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta keep remembering, nonfiction is real, fiction is fake, something like that.
So
maybe autobiographies.
I mean, if I sit down and like try to remember all the things I did, yeah, sure, I'll do that. But I think you've probably been following me around for a bit because I've been wanting to do a wrestling fiction book since like 2018. But like all the plots and stuff that like I try to start I never really finished, but like I try to make a promise to myself, like for this year or next year, to like actually sit down, flesh everything out, write everything, and like have it done. Because I really want to get that going. Like, yeah, so it's gonna happen. It's gonna take a bit, but it's gonna definitely happen.
Hey, that's cool. You know, what I mean, hey, you gotta take your time. You know, what I mean, I think Game of Thrones. He hasn't even finished the Game of Thrones thing. You know, what I
Yeah,
mean,
he
so
hasn't.
yeah, I think he was only on like season 5 or 6 or something like that. You know, what I mean, and then the writers had to pick up there. That's probably why that last season I was just like, oh, okay. So, I mean, yeah, I got to ask, so when you're doing commentary, are you traveling everywhere? Do you have far to travel, or are you just, like, hey, I'm right down the road, I'm not too far away?
I am. I mean, for goddesses, they're in New Jersey. So the last couple of times, I'll have one of my family members drive me, and they'll stay for the show, and then like I'll do commentary, and we'll go home. I'm currently looking for sponsoring from anyone out there that wants to sponsor me for my next event of July 8th. So that way I can like have an easier time getting out there. But yeah, I usually have like a family member drive me.
Okay, that's cool. So July 8th is your next show.
Yeah.
And do you have any other shows going on past there, or anything up, for your podcast coming up before then? You like to share with us?
July 8th is the next booking. Unfortunately, it's the same time as MLW. I usually do MLW as well, but I go there as media press. And MLW is like really welcoming. Like I love everybody in MLW. I really do. The last time I was there, I got the chance to do media press with Jacob Fatu and like other wrestlers. And like, man, if you would have told me like a couple years ago that I would have been having a quick little interview with him, like it wouldn't be real. I do want to share this like really heartwarming like story with him. So it was towards the last match, which was that that cage match that they had. I get like the name of it, but I went downstairs to like get like a better viewing of it and whatnot, and I didn't notice that like Jacob and like the rest of the Samoan SWAT team were like there doing like just selling merch and stuff. So Jacob ends up like tapping me on the arm, and he says, "Sis, you still here?" And like it took everything in me to not like mark out or just have this huge ass smile on my face, because like I wasn't expecting to get like acknowledged and whatnot. So I had to play it off to be like, yeah, because I'm still working. But that will always be the greatest like interaction I've had with Jacob, just for him to tap me on the arm and be like, "Sis, you still working?" Like, of course, I'm still here. But MLW is like always great. So like they're both on July 8th, so I have to go do Goddesses. But for everyone that's going on to MLW to go have fun over there. And it'll be a great time. Other than that, like I just do my podcast episodes. I do the live streaming. If somebody wants to book me somewhere, that's fine. I still want to try and work for like New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's up in like August, like 19th, where they have like New Japan and like Impact. Like I would just love to like work for like New Japan and like Impact and all that. But yeah, I'm taking it one day at a time, because if not, I'm gonna get overloaded and I'm just gonna be like, But yeah, that's what I have.
Hey, it sounds like a busy schedule to me. I mean, I'm all for that. I mean, keeping busy. I mean, idle hands. I mean, yeah, they do bad things. So always stay busy, do good things. What I mean? So yeah, I'm all for that. Now from traveling, around and stuff. You say, you had like family members try, riding with them and stuff. Do you have any funny travel stories with them? Going to shows or anything, or even going to like, just a regular show as a fan. WWE shows or AEW, or even if if you're old like me, a WCW show, ECW show, or anything. Any funny
I
stories?
mean, this is probably going to be like a cop out in a way, but you guys can go watch my vlogs, to go see the funny stuff. There is this one time where like, it's me and the boys in the car, and, one person is trying to get in the car, but like, my driver is like trying to drive off without them, type of thing. But then, they finally got into the car. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but like my vlogs have some stuff in it. And those vlogs are basically me just trying to be comfortable in front of the camera before like I'm this comfortable like right now. You know, there was like, you know, a couple of times where I did have to go to a show by myself, like to get there and like travel by myself. And I walked down this like really weird, scary like alleyway just to get to the other side because Google Maps were like, you have to go this way and stuff. And I was like, why do I have to walk down this alley? But yeah, you know, that's basically it. I don't have anything else on top of my head.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So I do gotta ask, you know, I do. Yeah, I was doing some research, and you're also a gamer and stuff. So so
Yeah.
what are your like favorite games? What's your favorite system? You know, you like to play and all that good stuff. And are you like playing anything right now? You know that you're into?
So basically, I game when I'm way too exhausted from wrestling because wrestling could get exhausted. I just got back on the Division 2 just to finish up the story. I finished Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I love the whole entire Assassin's Creed franchise. I'm hoping to play Mirage when like it comes out. I basically, you know, I do have the WWE games. I will, you know, stream the universe mode just so that I could do commentary on it and practice on it. 'Cause that's another way that you can practice commentary is by doing that, having matches and like creating the story and stuff. I mainly play on Xbox. But between me and my significant other, we have like so many other game systems and like old school gaming and stuff like that. Um, you know, fun fact, before I did the whole wrestling thing, I helped him out to achieve his goals of like doing gaming and doing a gaming channel by, you know, believing in him and pushing him. So I was like behind the scenes girl for like all that gaming channel that he has. And then with that, that took us to like doing a documentary for like Comic Con and like doing a smaller documentary for like Play NYC and like behind the scenes and stuff. So, you know, yeah, so I'm a gamer, but like I don't really stream gaming because my whole thing is wrestling, but like I do it all. Like I don't know where to go from here, but like I do it all.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so the Division 2, you just finished that up, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I got back on it because I haven't played it in a while. I miss like just having just turn it on, have one of those shooter games. Like, um, you know, I tend to stick to RPG and like some shooters. So like you'll see me playing like Fortnite if I'm gonna get with the guys and be like, hey, let's have a Fortnite day, or you know, I'll play it offline and stuff. But like, yeah, shooters and RPGs and Pokemon from time to time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for I play Pokemon too. I just don't have any of the newer ones for my Switch yet. You know, what I mean, I'll get them though. I'll get them though. I have them all the
Yeah.
way up to my 3DS. I just don't have them for the Switch yet. Now, Fortnite, I was taught yesterday. One of the wrestler's sons. She brings him to the shows and stuff and all. And he usually helps us out and all. He's about 9, 10 or whatever. And I was chatting with him about gaming. And
Uh-huh.
his mom plays. She's big on Call of Duty, right? She's big on
Oh.
playing duty. So you know,
Mm.
I'm talking with him. I'm like, yeah, I play Call of Duty. I was like, but you know, I have bad eyes. I'm too old. You know, I can't see when people are far away. So I was like, I play zombies. You know, what I mean, that's why I like play. It's more, you know, I can play with like you know, one or two of my friends. He looked at me. He goes, zombies. Was turned to walk away. He's like, and then stopped, looked back, and was like, zombies,
Oh
like
my
that, and then
God.
walked off. I was like, what's
Little
wrong
kid.
with zombies? And then later on, we were chatting. He goes, "So do you play Fortnite?" I was like, I played it one time, but you know, I can either shoot or build. I can't shoot and build at the same time." He was like, "Why?" I was like, "Well, I was like, you know, doing really well." And I was like, you know, it was like the circle got small. There's like, you know, 3, 4, 5 people left. I was one of them, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this dude." And all of a sudden, you know, this person builds like a 12-story building and stuff,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like, "What
yeah,
in the
yeah,
world?" Then
yeah.
they snipe me in the head. I'm like, "Where
Yeah.
did that come from?" And I'm over
That-
here like, okay, I gotta learn how to do that. And I'm like, I place a brick here, and I could place something here, and then bam, then I'm done. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll
yeah,
pass on that.
that's why they created the no build part of Fortnite, and that's where like, you know, I play the most. I play that one mainly because I can't build and shoot at the same time. Like no.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can chew gum and walk at the same time, but yeah, building and shooting, yeah, that's a little too complicated for me and stuff. I like playing GTA Online. I just got back into playing that,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
you know, what I mean,
I
I was
have
like, I'm
GTA
gonna
Online, yeah.
I'm
Yeah. I
gonna
can't
grind
wait
on
for
that
part
because I had
6.
Xbox also.
Yeah. I can't wait for part 6 though.
Yeah, yeah, I'm waiting for that. I do need to upgrade for the current gen because I'm still on my one. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, I got my one and I got the PS4. So yeah, I got upgrade, But I'm looking at the games, it's like not really, really worth it, so far. But the stuff coming out, it's like looking like okay, maybe I can, maybe I need to upgrade. Plus, my Xbox starting to sound like a jet engine when I turn it on, so.
Oh man, that's bad. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even upgrade. It's the original Xbox that when they first came out, I got it a couple days after it came out, week after it came out, and yeah, I still got the same one. Yeah, it's like I started. I was like, I'm like, woo.
I have a Cyberpunk special edition Xbox One. Yeah, the Cyberpunk one.
Yeah, I like Cyberpunk. I played it. I even played it with the glitches, and I was having a blast with it. I did have to turn it off and just stop playing it for one time because I was playing and I'm walking down the road and I look and I'm like, what in the world is that? And then a big giant car was just flying and then it hit me and killed me. I was like,
oh no.
I was like, okay, just randomly, you know what I mean? Just like it just spawned in somewhere. I was like, all right. So did you have any glitches with that game? Did you have fun with it?
I mean, no glitches happened with my game since it came with the system. So I guess it was fine. So I didn't get to experience what everyone else was experiencing. I could only watch it.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. It was great. It's kind of like it wasn't as bad as WWE 2K20. Yeah, it was 2K20 that was real bad. Oh my! I'm bringing it over to my friend's house and we would play it even with the glitches just to laugh and stuff. You'd be like, oh my god, like this is horrible. Oh no, why'd you do that? Oh.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever played Fire Pro Wrestling instead of the WWE games?
I have. I don't get it. It's a little too complicated for me to get. But we have it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that, but I mostly play like the GM mode and stuff on there, where you build up your own, your company and you go around you start in either North America, Europe, Japan or Asia, whatever, and you just dominate the world, get all the best wrestlers. Plus, you can go on there and download all the indie stars and all that stuff. I try to get all my friends and stuff on there. I'm like, oh, yep, there's my boy. Oh, there's my girl right there. Yep, we're getting on here. We're going to take over the world,
Yeah.
It's always great. So, I also got to ask, are there any new movies and TV shows you're into right now? Because I'm always trying to find something new, because I always get caught watching the same stuff over and over again, like comfort shows, So I'm always trying to find recommendations.
Well, the new Beavis and Butthead TV series is great. So I'm enjoying that. Yesterday, I watched Insidious Part 1 and 2, which I'm not really huge on horror movies because I just can't, but I try my best. I also finally watched the Super Mario Brother movie, which I freaking love. And then what was Fast 10 was on, but the Fast movies are not for me. They're really not. I get it. I get the appeal, but it's just not one of those things I'm gonna sit down and watch the whole thing. What else did I watch other than that? There was another movie that I watched, but I tend to stick to the same things over and over, or I just watch YouTube. My favorite vloggers or gamers on there just to relax from wrestling. But yeah, I don't really watch too much of TV shows and stuff like that. People might think I'm boring, but I'm all about trying to gain new skills as much as that sounds.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Hey, I'm all for Beavis and Butthead. I used to watch it when I was growing up. I used to make my dad be like, hey, when it came on at MTV at 7:00, and after dinner, I'd be like, Pop, we're putting in a blank tape. This is called a VHS tape back when I was a kid. We would put it in a VCR and hit record, and I used to record the Beavis and Butthead shows, So to this day, if somebody says Uranus, extend, this is hard. In my head, I might not believe her, but in my head, I'm like, you said extend. Yeah.
Oh my God, you sound
half the time, it's like, I'm a grown adult, and it's still messing with me. Yeah, the Beavis and Butthead, it was great. Yeah, I like the movie, the shows. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, man,
it's pretty good. Now the newest movie I recently seen was I seen Redfield, one where Nicolas Cage was Dracula. That one.
Oh, how was it?
It's what you expect. It's a funny movie with John Wick style vampire, violence. You know what I mean? Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage Dracula. Yeah, he's crazy. It's wild. And then I watched Avatar 2. I remember watching the first one, and I was like, and then I watched this one. I was like, I forgot what happened on the first one. It was so long ago, and I was just like, it's too long. And I was like, yeah, the Avatar movies aren't for me. You know, they look great, you know, but yeah, they're not for me.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah. If I have one, you know, Renfield, that was pretty cool. It was pretty funny, you know. I mean, I'll definitely check that out or whatever. But yeah, so I do gotta say, you know, before I pass it on back to Remy and stuff, you know, I want to say, you know, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on chat with us, you know, about wrestling, you know, gaming, you know, what movies you're watching, all that good stuff. You know, I wish you nothing but the best for you, your family, and all that. I hope you get to achieve your dreams and travel in Japan, do some New Japan stuff, travel around the world, doing what you love to do in wrestling. And yeah, I wish you all the best in doing that. You know what I mean? Sending positive vibes your way.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it so much.
Marie, thank you very much for, you know, taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our show. We really and truly appreciate it. You've been on our radar. We're glad we're able to finally have you on here. Before we actually, you know, shut down the show, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out your next appearances and all that good stuff?
All right. So the easiest way is on Twitter at Marie_Shadows, where you can definitely see what I tweet about on my timeline and stuff. Please make sure to sign up to my wrestling newsletter, the Square Circle Society. It's an extension of everything else that I do. So whatever I do on my own time, it doesn't get covered. It goes to the newsletter, which you can find it at marieshadows.substack.com. You can find me on Twitter, on Kick, anywhere else. You can just type in my name, but you know, to really stay in contact will be at Marie_Shadows on Twitter. And then from there, my Discord link is like all over, where I'm building a community of non-toxic wrestling fans to talk about wrestling as an adult and finding like-minded friends and fans of professional wrestling. So Discord, newsletter, and Twitter, and that's about it.
And are those good for like bookings, like in case like any promoters want to book you for their shows, like as a commentator or anything?
Yeah, if promoters are out there and you really like my stuff and like, you know, like what I have to say, the easiest way is to contact me either on Twitter at Marie_Shadows, because my DMs are open, or you can email me at squaredcirclepodcast@outlook.com for anything that you need help with, you want to chat with me, you know, I'm open for whatever.
Awesome. So y'all definitely heard, y'all, you know, make sure you actually go ahead and I'll give her a follow. She's doing great things and is going to continue to do even more great things as well. So definitely, you know, make sure you shoot her a follow and everything, and you know, join that Discord group and everything. And yeah, let's support each other. You know, make wrestling. You know, keep rest. Let's keep wrestling. Wrestling was always great, but let's keep it that way as well. And with that being said, once again, you know, Marie, thank you very much. Keep on striving, keep on thriving. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. And enjoy the rest of the day. So before we do that, Rob Bass, where can fans find you on social media when they want to, you know, talk wrestling, find out your next appearances, purchase Rob Bass merchandise? And where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
Or you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Rob_Bass82, Facebook, Rob Bass, and you can find, and this coming Sunday at 2 p.m. in Milford, Delaware, 1CW, we're doing an outside show. We're going to be in Milford, right outside the VFW, right on the pond out there in the river in Milford. You know what I mean? We have O'Shea Edwards coming. You know what I mean? He's going to doing a rematch against, you know, my boy Trucker Josh right here. You know what I mean? They had a match last week, and there's unfinished business there, so Trucker Josh is coming in again. So we're doing that. You know, the Workhorses versus the Tar Dynasty. They're having a big brawl, and I presume the winner of the match is you know, whoever throws the other person in the river or the pond. You know what I mean? So it's going to go crazy like that. And you can always check us out on the Marvel Sports Network. You know.
It's okay. He's going to be back. He does that sometimes.
Yeah.
He freezes.
My internet wants to freeze up. It wants to freeze up right now. Yeah, so Delmarva Sports Network on Comcast, cable if you're into Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, DC area and all that good stuff. If not, you can get the DSN app and it catches every 10 a.m. Saturday morning. Like I said, this Sunday we're going to be in Milford, and then July 7th we'll be back in Houston, and then the week after that we're back in Selbyville, and we got a lot of things going on, so definitely stay tuned for that.
Awesome. So y'all definitely. For those of you in the Delmarva area, definitely check out 1CW. A lot of great, talented men and women there. They're doing a lot of great things, and they're actually expanding. So if they're in a city near you, make sure you check them out. And if you want to find me on social media, not that I see a lot of cool things, but I do go to a lot of cool places these days. You can definitely find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue as well. Our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. We're also on Spotify, and we also have a Teespring store where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have T-shirts, we have tank tops, we have hoodies, sweatshirts. We even have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. All you gotta do is type in Ringside. All you gotta do is just check it out. We have a lot of we have several designs right now, and actually we're about to release our latest one, our luxury design as we call it, which is also our first pro wrestler inspired one as well too. So stay tuned for that. We might drop it tonight or tomorrow, but it's definitely going to be happening in the very, very near future. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where we have cool interviews like this one, like the one we had with J-Rod, and also many other great men and women, in professional wrestling, such as Katie Hebner, the Renegade Twins, and many, many more. All you gotta do is go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society, and once you see that really gorgeous dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing, like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. We really and truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could and should listen to, and we're not going to stop. To those of y'all that are going to listen later on, we get a chance, thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral or a Juneteenth celebration and Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
No, we ain't stopping. And with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well and aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for Titan Championship Wrestling and their goddesses, and one time for former WWE employee, now current TCW Goddesses commentator and host of Tape Study Tuesdays, Marie Shadows. What type of podcast are we?
We're the best podcast in the world.
Oh, I think he froze. Wow, did not know.
Oh, well, okay, I saved it, I guess. Best podcast in the world.
All right, my bad. All right, here we go. Well, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. She said best podcast in the world, but that's a bit far fetched. I don't want to start no war that ends up like Game of Thrones and whatnot. So, but thanks though. Thanks, Marie. But yes, we're the Wrestling.
Just put that in there.
Yes, we're the Wrestling Podcast, Ringside Society. I know we'll be back tomorrow with another impressive guest on another impressive episode. But until then, we just want y'all to actually, 5 favors for us. Actually, 5 favorites. We normally say 4, but this time we're gonna put a whole hand out there and say 5. First off, happy Juneteenth. Second of all, stay safe. Third, stay healthy. Fourth, be excellent to each other. And last but not least, party on, dudes. We out. Peace.